Well, hello there guys. So today we do have a whole ton of things to talk about. And this is episode 4 of KTea time. Right, so basically this is about an hour-long podcast format where me and Mandalorian just discuss the happenings of the last week and news and anything that's interesting in MCOC world. This is a members exclusive podcast, so all the members and Patreons do get to see this recording live at the date is recorded, and then it stays unlisted for an entire week up until it is released for everybody. So I do believe that this is a good way to offer exclusive content to those of you who are able to support the channel, and then in addition to that, everybody gets to chip in and be part of the events and discussion. However, keep in mind that a lot of these things are quite time sensitive, so it is quite often beneficial to hear them the day they are recorded rather than a week late. And that being said, we do have quite an interesting show in store for you guys. We're going to be talking about Mulaney's challenge, Holiday Store, Cavalier Crystals, Spider Ham Act 7, and also we're going to be taking a stab in the dark about gifting. I'm going to be largely staying away from Alliance Quest Season 8, because I want to have like a full-on week's experience to kind of like comment on it better. Maybe we'll comment on it a bit, but that's not going to be the main thing. And yeah, so let's welcome Mandalorian.
Another KT time in here. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk about some fun stuff.
Alright, so we already have had some very active chat right here, but again, keep in mind this is a podcast format, so we will not really be interacting with chat too much unless there is some vitally important question appearing there. So that being said, Mulaney's challenge, the spider pig, the killer pig.
It was very nice to see the challenges come back, because I think we were discussing it in the stream earlier today that, I mean, it had been about a year and a half since we had seen anything, which was way back when we saw these challenges, and I like them because they come around every so often and they allow us to kind of test our abilities, our rosters, our stamina, because some of them are kind of long and things like that, but the rewards aren't too bad either. So I don't know, what are your thoughts about them?
Right, so overall I do like it. There are some things and stuff, but I do like the challenges are coming back, and then the rewards are kind of keeping up with the times. And yes, the last one, actually, funnily enough, my first kind of like decent stream and the first busy stream I ever did on this channel was Captain Marvel movie challenge, when I did it with 4-star champions. And
wow,
that was also like, yeah, that was the first stream for me, and this is the last time we saw these challenges, so I'm very, very glad and happy to see them back. And well, first I guess we can talk about rewards a bit.
Sure.
And what do you think about rewards?
Well, honestly, I think everybody, for the most part, should be able to do the first chapter, where if you look at the first chapter rewards, you get, if you 100% it, well, okay, just completion, you get a T4CC crystal, a T4 basic, 1 tier 1 alpha, and then 26 stars, 5-star Sigstone crystals. So not bad just for completing the first chapter. And then if you explore all of it, you get a 5-star champion crystal, 20 generic 5-star Sigstones, and then a tier 2 alpha. Everybody should be able to do that, I think. Not too bad at all. Obviously that gives you some things, but it's not as juicy when it comes to when you get to chapter 2. In chapter 2, just for completing it, all you get is some gold, but the exploration and completion for the entire act is also very juicy for the amount of time it takes, I think.
Yeah, I do find it that there is kind of like a certain line that has to be drawn, and that depends entirely on where you're at in the game. If you do have a relatively large roster and decent amount enough of skill, it's well worth the effort. It doesn't take long at all, and you can have some easy, good rewards. However, obviously, if you're maybe not as skillful, or if you don't have the champions that are suggested and your roster is kind of lagging a bit, there is a point where you draw the line and just kind of like go for chapter 1, get what's given there, and then just leave those 3 tier 2 alphas, leave the 6-star crystal, tier 5 basic, and 5-star nexus. And I also kind of like it fair because I did like the rewards distribution, because there's still significant amount for chapter 1, and this is helpful for smaller accounts. And then a bit more juicy stuff where it actually puts in some effort. The problem always, whenever Kabam release any kind of like challenging content, like Maze for instance. Maze had horrible rewards, but that's just an example of a tricky piece of content.
Right.
Where everybody kind of like often feels that they are entitled to those rewards and that they should be able to complete it. So I have had a lot of that to go through, where, oh, I only have 2 rank 5 4-stars and 1 rank 5 5-star and a couple of maxed out 4-stars. And this challenge is stupid. Now this challenge is just not made. That chapter 2 is not made for people with that level of an account.
Yeah. Definitely not. Definitely not. It's made for people that have the probably Cavalier at least. For just as an example, the people that have gotten Cavalier, the people that are Thronebreaker, people that are comfortable doing those types of challenging Cavalier monthly event quests. It's for those types of people. It's the in-game players that are going to get the most benefit out of this. But I think everybody could possibly do chapter 1, but chapter 2 is really made for the rosters. The rewards reflect that can put a little bit of extra time in, but get the juicy rewards for the a little bit of content, extra content.
And another thing that it's not large criticism overall. I did like it. I did kind of like rush through it, but I do plan to revisit. I do plan to use like rank 3 5-stars and 4-star champions only and boost up a bit and try and go through it again. But overall, there are some criticisms about the design that I definitely have, and I think one of the main criticisms, especially for chapter 2, is those global nodes, because those global nodes automatically kind of like discount very, very large portion, especially the one that goes with the equally balanced. When the defender triggers special attack, remove all debuffs from them. So there we go. Any champion that requires a significant amount of debuffs and consistently keeping those debuffs on opponent goes in the bin, pretty much. And when the attacker triggers special attack, remove all buffs from them. And again, it just eliminates very large portion of champions, or at the very least significantly hinders them. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I hope we don't see this node often. I think it is quite horrible node.
Yeah.
And that annoyed me more so than anything, because it automatically discards a lot of champions.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried seeing this node, how it was presented here, and with knowing that Act 7 is right around, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but I'm kind of worried this will be a node that we see, hopefully not as often, but I could see it being at least one time we see in the new Act 7 1. I don't know. I wasn't too fond of seeing how that was implemented. It looks like a very not fun
Yeah, exactly.
node.
And I think the fact that it was a global, not for a single fight, like if it was a single fight or 2 fights, something like that, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Why not? Or maybe put it on like the last path or something, where it's like significant increase in
But
difficulty.
just as soon as you jump in, as you jump in, you got to deal with it.
Yeah, and other than that, I did the fights themselves. They weren't too bad. We have the Howard the Duck with Rage, obviously not the hardest, not the easiest fight. And we have Gwenpool, which is quite tricky, which you need to take in specific counter for. Warlock, I'd say, arguably is the one that really needs countering for, probably, because of the relatively tricky to dex level 1 and the infections and the way it interacts with willpower and stuff. Then we have Deadpool, which I think is the easiest fight, and then pretty much Mysterio is everybody's most hated fight, I suppose.
Yeah, hated. So, could we talk about that? What did you feel were the best counters for these particular fights? Like, because again, we're going to be fighting these fights over and over again, progressively getting higher PIs and attacks, and then some different nodes and stuff throughout. But what did you feel like was the best plan of attack for these counters?
Well, yeah, I did kind of like make a guide for it, but the best idea is Aegon is one of the MVPs. Aegon can take 4 out of the 5 fights. There is a very, very good cheese method available where you can ramp up Aegon to about 500 combo in the first Gwenpool. Eventually, you also, with that, get to that level 2, and you can actually finish that fight out with Aegon once you got like high enough combo. And then past that point, Aegon can just destroy pretty much everything. bar the Gwenpools and then bring in counter for Gwenpool. And that, for me, was Archangel. That was pretty much my strategy, where I just didn't do the heavy ramp-up thing on Gwenpool. I just went in and ramped him up normally. But I just used Aegon for pretty much everything. And used Archangel for Gwenpool. Other than that, I have heard great things about Black Widow Clairvoyant, obviously Archangel, Hyperion as being some of the MVPs. But if we go over fight by fight, so we have Howard the Duck, where I have heard that like Longshot, Black Widow Clairvoyant, Symbiote Supreme are fantastic options.
Right.
And then we have Gwenpool, which is again damage over time one, where we have Archangel, again Black Widow Clairvoyant. I believe Hyperion can work very well. Tiger apparently completely destroys that fight. And where the main idea is just have damage over time effect with that power shield and some sort of external source of power gain.
Sure.
And then we have Warlock, which is arguably the trickier one to counter, where ideally you want a tech champion because of the tech wrath. So most popular option is Warlock to counter Warlock, because Warlock can be used for some of the other fights too, very effectively.
Right.
And but other than that, you can use Guillotine 2099, Starking Hand Spider-Man. Some people have used again Aegon, perfectly viable option because you shrug off the debuffs, and typically kind of like stick to tech class, I suppose. Deadpool.
Do you think Guardian would be a good one? Do you think Guardian maybe be a good one for that?
Possibly, I'm not too sure. Maybe if you remove willpower. Removing willpower is a legit strategy against Warlock.
Willpower.
And then we have Deadpool, which is, I don't think it requires any real countering if you want to have easier time to take in something that mitigates heal or have Despair maxed or something. Other than that, Deadpool is just like flat out bash the pool kind of thing. Nothing really to counter there. And then Mysterio, where you have to deal with masochism. So the hard counter to masochism specifically would be Apocalypse, actually. And you can use Apocalypse against Deadpool to get those 4 charges on the first one, because he can ignore masochism completely.
True.
And other than that, I have heard people use Hyperions, people use Warlocks again, Aegons is what I used, and you can pretty much use anyone, because even though it says that he has that poison once he reaches 3 of those poison gas charges, because of the global node, you have a chance to inflict armor break on every parry, obviously if it doesn't get masochism. And you can just kind of like ignore that for the most part. So.
Gotcha. Well, not bad at all. And then for the final boss, was there any champion out of the ones you bring in you felt like was the easiest? Was it just ramped up Aegon is pretty much the best?
It's pretty much just the ramped up Aegon kind of. Venom obviously shatters him, but bringing in Venom, you can use Venom by the way for Warlock as well, because you have so many buffs, the infections just fall off kind of thing. And just don't use special attacks for that fight, and that's about it. But Venom can destroy that fight. Aegon worked fantastic. Basically, what you want is a champion, ideally, that doesn't use special attacks and counter evade. If not, you can just parry the guy constantly and hit him while he's stunned, so he can't evade. And then you can use any champion that doesn't require you to throw special attack. Another good thing fighting the pig, if you have underranked champions or just kind of like tankier, slower champions, is that he places those taunts and he places the power things on you, which trigger willpower heal. It's perfect there.
Yeah. They'll allow you just to basically heal up if you're getting a little low, as long as you
it mitigates a lot of like block damage you get from consistently trying to parry him.
Nice. Overall, I feel like it was a good little challenge. I do understand some people were saying it was repetitive because of how many fights you have to do of the same champions back to back in that long, specifically chapter 2. But for the rewards you get and for the time put in, and I think it's not too bad at all.
Yeah, I did like it. I like the fact that it's not straightforward, it's not easy that you just blitz through it. I like the fact that it did take something out of you, It wasn't just kind of like go and grab something. It offered a decent amount of rewards for some effort, and worked out very well, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. So I would like to see more of these in the future. Would definitely welcome more of them over time. Maybe once every quarter or something would be nice, but we'll see.
Right, but carrying on the theme of the Spider Pig, because all of the events that have started thus far, before we actually talk about the little porky himself, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the holiday store and the crystals and how on fire everybody has been with them. So just put on the calendar there, where we can see basically all of the champions of which year we can pull. I'm going to disable my face cam for a moment so you guys can't see what I am doing. No, it's just so you guys can see the picture in full. So first things, I think we do need to address the elephant in the closet. But if you go on Twitter, if you go in line rooms, if you read my stream chat, seemingly everybody's pulling 5 stars out of their rear end. The RNG, and I am typically not strong for these conspiracy theories or anything like that.
Right.
But it's suspiciously large amount of people who seem to have pulled absolute fire, and suspiciously small amount of people who said I didn't. And typically you can hear those very, very quickly. If somebody feels like have been getting very unlucky or have done injustice to, those complaints normally echo for weeks. And that kind of leads me to believe that very significant portion has been getting extremely lucky, much more so than they should have with technically what's 18 Kamala crystals. So obviously there is this conspiracy theory going around where they have purposely increased the drop rates for these free crystals for when people actually get to buy them, when they release them by units, because I have no doubt they will.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna see the real drop rates. But that is just like conspiracy theory. Again, I don't personally strongly believe in it. I wouldn't I wouldn't put it past Kabam, definitely, because if there is one thing that Kabam doesn't have from me at the moment is benefit of the doubt.
Yes, yeah, no, exactly. I will say I've noticed personally, and just from hearing all the stories, that these are considered the best crystals they've ever given away for free. And obviously it's the first time we've ever gotten the ability to purchase cav level crystals to give us the opportunity to get 6 stars from these crystals. And I do like how they allowed us to get a pool from each year, so you can
I
really
like the fact that
decide.
they didn't litter that pool.
Yeah,
Just those
yeah,
champions.
absolutely. Like it's like you've got literally just those champs as 3 through. You've got Cavs 6 star of just that year, and it was nice.
They're great crystals overall. I think these are significantly better than the ones that they did before, where they had all the new ones, let's say, but also some random crap.
Yeah. No, these are definitely a much better crystal than I think they've ever done before. I hope they do these for every anniversary, something like this, because it's definitely worth it. I did the entire side of S on every difficulty to make sure I could open all these crystals, and I had overall good luck. My last set were a complete dud with just 3 stars, but I had so many. I think I got like 4 or 5 stars and 2 6 stars out of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's even better than I did.
Yeah.
I opened all of them in one go because I also rushed through everything because I just wanted to get it. And besides, it really made it feel like it's worthwhile, because it really made you feel like it's like a big opening where it's nearly 2 Odin's worth of Kamala crystals and you didn't pay for it, so it kind of felt like I get to do this open. It was quite cool. I liked it overall. I didn't pull any 6 stars at all, but I did end up pulling about 6 5 stars, I think, total. I did pull quite
insane.
Well, yeah, which is quite crazy, which is definitely better than statistically one would. And as far as I'm hearing, pretty much everybody's better than statistically you should.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it because I think it makes everybody, if you do all the difficulty, it kind of makes everybody feel like the content creators we see online that drop $100 or $200 on crystals. Most people can't do that, so this kind of gave them the opportunity to kind of feel like a baller.
I like that.
And get some rewards.
Yeah. So going by the years, though, I'm quite sure that pretty much no one went for like the initial ones, or hardly anyone. Because let's face it, most of the 2016 and all the champions, bar some of the very, very, very finely aged wines, aren't quite as alluring. Plus the aspect if the champions are new, you have had less time and chances to acquire them. So I think the vast majority went for 2020 champions, even though 2019 has and 2018 has pretty much the meta kind of like conquering champions. 2019 is a hard crystal to say no to.
Yeah, I heard majority of people either going for 2019 because all the champions they wanted to get or do in there, or 2020 because they just wanted the new champions. And honestly, you can't fault them for that. I did hear the few outliers going for like Gone and what is it? 20 what year was he? 2017 or 2018? 2018.
Against 2018. 2018 is also decent because 2018 has Domino, Ghost, Corvus, Captain Finty, War.
Yeah,
Killmonger, Void, Gladiator, Hulk,
so I heard,
Omega Red.
I didn't hear anyone going for 2014, 15, or even 16. Even though you had some buffed characters in there like Magneto, you know, the
yeah.
Venom,
I think if we had like this buff program going on for like a year, then all of those crystals would be like a very hard debate.
Exactly, yeah. But this, I don't know. I think it just gave a lot of people that haven't been able to get a lot of the new champions because they don't buy crystals or they are just stuck pulling a lot of the older ones.
Yeah, even when you watch like a random person who isn't like quite, let's say, too far into endgame, when they opened these, they got like a ton of new 4 stars, 3 stars, some 5 stars, and even just having the access to these new champions as 4 stars and 3 stars if you didn't have it before is, I think, very healthy overall for entire player base, because you might not be able to bring them in the latest content, but if you actually like that champion, you care for it, or you're given a chance to test, experiment, play about.
Right. It's just nice. That's all I can say. I said this is probably the best thing they could have done after coming off of the debacle that was Cyber Weekend for Cav players and everybody. Yeah. This is probably the best gift they gave us this year.
The only downside, I kind of feel bad for the people who pulled crap, because I have had comments where like, oh, I opened 15 and got 4 stars and 3 stars only and stuff like that. But that, because I have seen some people pull like 4 6 stars or 3 6 stars, and then somebody who doesn't pull even a 5 star. There's a very huge discrepancy in rewards, and that is kind of like unfortunate. You wish there would be a way around it, but RNG element obviously prohibits it. It's not like they're gonna give us all 6 star crystals, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there were some definitely people that got much better RNG and then people that got kind of screwed. So there's a flip side. I do feel like the majority of the player base got a balance though of getting some good pulls.
Quite majority of the player base got like a bunch of 5 stars that they're happy with, kind of.
Yeah, I kind of feel like at least, I think if you took the majority of players, they at least got one champion they were happy about. You know, at least one. But
overall, it was kind of refreshing. So I did like the side event. I like the fact that all of it was released, so I could just blitz through it. We didn't have to wait till end of the month to get these, because you know that excitement to get in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody was able to open them quick, right at the beginning of the month. In fact, I've seen, even on the forums, there's been some posts about give me more epoch shards. And if you did all the difficulty, this is the only thing that kind of was frustrating for me. If you did all the difficulty, which I know you know too, and you bought the Cav crystals, you still have 2,000 left over at the end of everything. You're like, why couldn't they make it an extra 2,000 so I could buy one more? Come on.
Yeah, I do have a feeling that these epoch shards might come back
somewhere.
Come back in like daily specials, because they often do that with the monthly side event.
Yeah. Or, you know, they have the holiday calendar coming up. They could give us some shards for that too. You know, there could be a lot of different things. I don't know, but definitely, I just gotta say, this was a big win for the community here and a big win for Kabam, and they deserve a round of applause for this particular set of crystals. So, especially because you could get Spider Ham before they even had their early access. So I had people getting it the day before those early access bundles came out. So.
Oh yeah, and I didn't get Piggy. I tried early access bundles. I tried everything. My only thing that I want from these crystals, I didn't want any 5 stars, nothing. I just wanted a Piggy, 4 star Piggy, 3 star Piggy, 5 star Piggy, whatever. And I didn't get any Piggy.
Yeah.
No Piggy for KT1.
Yeah, exactly. I was the same way. Me and you were on the hunt for the Spider Piggy, and this little Piggy got none. Either one of us. So, oh well. Always next time.
And this Piggy looks so awesome. I love it, man. I don't think he's like the best champion or anything, but okay. So let's actually get to it. Yeah, let's shift on to the next subject here. And we can talk a little bit about Spider-Ham. I kind of feel a bit bad.
Yeah.
I kind of feel a bit bad in this sense here. Whoopsie, wrong one. Here we go. Here we got the image of Piggy now up on the screen. I feel bad talking and analyzing and criticizing the champion because I personally haven't had a chance to play with him at all whatsoever. I do not have.
Yeah.
Same here. Version. But I have watched, obviously, most of the CCP coverage on it. I have heard lots of people talk about it. Many people have asked me questions about it, which, again, I feel inadequate to answer.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
he looks awesome. Let's start off there. His design looks
so
freaking
cool,
amazing.
Man. It's so cool. Unfortunately, it hasn't kind of happened, I think, to a point where they made the Piggy so good that like everybody will be forced to use him, because he's definitely a good champion, but he's not like
he's not amazing,
or
but
whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, let's just state the obvious. He's such a feel-good character, man. It feels so Looney Tuny, and
yeah,
it's almost as if you're playing a completely different game, or at least genre of games, even like, you know.
Let me just put it this way: you cannot look at this character and not get a smile on your face at some point by watching his animations and stuff. I mean, he is just hilarious, you know.
Yeah, I know. And all of those jokes that they worked in it, where you can like get the wind up or set up and then get the punchline and the pause. There's clearly a lot of thought and love went into the character. And he's definitely such a feel-good champion. I know that some people are upset. And I know that he doesn't belong here or whatever. It's like, come on, just chill out, man. We get 20-odd champions a year that all look badass or serious. Just chill out, man.
Let us have one. Let us have one goofy champion.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
And
I mean, we had Warlock last year that was kind of goofy.
Oh, there's an interesting fact, by the way. You know that loading screen, which I'm going to get out, right? Everybody's talking about the hot dog in loading screen, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna exit my game right now, and I'm gonna enter it back in so you see the loading screen. And everybody's talking about how he is eating the hot dog in that loading screen, and that everybody's wondering how that works. Is he a cannibal or whatever? There's an actually even more horrifying story, right? If you follow Marvel lore, and I cannot like guarantee or swear by this, but multiple of people have told this to me. Is that in Porker's universe, we can see the hot dog right now. There is that mustard. Yeah?
Right, the mustard flying off.
Yeah, in Spider Piggy's universe, they make their hot dogs out of humans.
Oh my god!
And so, one would reasonably assume that he's not eating a pig meat or whatever.
Yeah.
One would reasonably assume that he's munching on your neighbor.
He's probably, that would make sense. Well, you know what people forget too, are hot dogs they do sell beef hot dogs, and usually hot dogs are also made out of.
Anyway, but let's face it, it's probably made of human meat.
Probably human meat.
Just saying. Not that we don't have any horrible monsters in the game that eat humans and stuff. In Mephisto's level 3, he eats you and spits you out, whatever.
Oh, come on! Even Venom, he eats
ate the heads
stuff.
of the people in the movie. But yeah, Piggy is not as kind of like innocent and goody two shoes. He eats humans for lunch.
Exactly. Yeah. But he's definitely a fun little character. I'm looking forward to when I play. Maybe whether that be from grinding arena to get him, because I'm
I'll
heavily
probably
debating it.
For him. Overall, he's not a bad champion as well, which is definitely something we do have to talk about.
No.
Like,
he's
a lot of things look quite cool.
He's following the 2020 champions, like we talked about previously. They're not like must-have, like have to be on your roster, but they're not bad champions. They're nicely balanced. They're fun champions.
And overall, they're very fun. He also looks like many people will hate that Piggy in future because he does have a lot of defensive accents.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. He's gonna cause some problems on certain nodes in defensive war.
I think one of the most annoying things is that he goes unblockable when he awaits. Because typically your initial reaction and what your muscle memory is used to doing for 6 years nearly now, or 5+ years, When opponent evades, you typically try to block it, right?
Right.
So you immediately kind of like block that's the muscle memory thing to do. He goes unblockable. When he evades, he goes unblockable.
The worst thing you can have happen.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think that's a bit sketchy. I think that's gonna get me. That has gotten me already a couple of times in quality difficulty, but I'm sure that's gonna get me a few more times. And
oh yeah, until we learn how to like train our brains to see that. Yeah, that's gonna be something. But overall, I think animation team again blew out of the park. I like the way he fits into the game. He looks like a cartoon. More than, because technically all these characters are animated, so to speak, but he looks like an animated character in the real world. It looks like a cartoon,
not like an animated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he looks like a cartoon in an animated world. Awesome.
But yeah, obviously there are also several things that I'm not that major of a fan about, like for instance, his heavy attack, right? His heavy attack seems kind of a bit pointless, because the only purpose it serves, it eats up 2 spider nonsense, which is very important for you to keep yourself balanced, right?
Right.
But at the same time, there's no other effect. It's kind of like you take away your spider nonsense, or you use them, but you don't do anything with that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
typically, if you have these things in your rotation, for instance, let's explain, I don't know, Human Torch heavy attack, right?
Right.
You use heavy attack to gain the temperature, which is the main purpose of the heavy attack.
Exactly.
But on top of that, it's also the attack that inflicts the incinerates. So it has like a dual purpose. It doesn't feel like you're just doing it just because kind of thing, because it's also progressing your game further with whatever you are doing. And that heavy attack particularly to me just struck as in like kind of completely bland. And yeah, I don't know. There are some inks and kinks with the character. Overall, I do like him quite a bit. Again, I don't think he's going to be like day-to-day insane Master Champion. He's a bit of a ramp-up character as well. Like, typically for most fights, you do want to get to that level 3, and I'm naturally kind of like resentful towards any champion that's forcing me to watch their level 3s multiple times a fight, or a single time in a fight. I just don't want that level 3. The day they invent skip level 3 animation, I will maybe change my mind. But after doing Abyss of Legends with Dr. Doom and watching 75,000 level 3s of house in my neighborhood getting blasted with a random opponent,
right?
I don't want that. And Namor, like, again, yeah, it's just, no, I don't like, I'm not a fan. I know it's a small thing, it's not like it makes character worse, it just makes me enjoy them less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's just repetitive. Again, the repetition, and you can't skip it, and it's a longer, 10-second or so.
Exactly, and typically, like, time is money, and how quickly you can get through things in game is important, whether we like to admit. That's the reason why Corvus is so popular and why Iron Patriot isn't, right? Or whoever.
Yeah, exactly, because you can
want
hurry
it to
up
be
and
quick
get
and snappy, and any champion that you have to throw level 3 with to kind of like get the bank rolling in, I'm not that keen on. I mean, I don't necessarily discount them. Obviously, I use Dr. Doom's, Namor's, and so on and so forth, but it's just
sake of doing. I know what you mean. I hear you talking.
Overall, I will grind for Piggy, if possible, at all. I'm sure.
I will
like it also kind of depends with my work, because currently I am on furlough. Lockdown's ending. I don't know if I'm gonna stay on furlough or they can just call me anytime to go back in. So it's kind of a very stressful time, and at the same time very chaotic, because I really cannot plan anything like even a day ahead, because my boss has the great manners of often calling in at like 9 or 10 p.m. asking, can you come in tomorrow?
Yeah.
So
I know. It'll just depend. Well, we'll see. But I hope to grind. Maybe we can both grind and see if we can get him, like we always do. Well, anything else you want to say about Spider-Ham?
I think we're pretty much there. I am happy that we have a Power Sting champion in particular, because we haven't had that. And obviously it was like in that 6.3 lane, which again is just a single lane in Act 6, and hopefully we're not going to see it back again, ever.
Right.
But still, it's good to have another option there, because it's not a very common thing. So overall, it's, again, like, little things.
Very nice. Yeah, little things to be thankful for. So Act 7. So we have Act 7 coming up.
So we do have Act 7. What is your plan with Act 7?
Well, my plan is to be here when
Wait.
you stream it live.
Allegedly, in the age of political correctness and addressing everybody how they want to be addressed, it's called Book 2, Chapter 1, I believe.
Book 2, Chapter 1, is that what it is?
No, Book 2, Act 1, Chapter 1. That's
Act
what
1,
it is.
Chapter 1. There you go.
Book
yeah.
2, Act
Book
1,
2,
Chapter 1. And I screw that.
Act 7,
Screw that. Act 7, man.
It's
Act 7. Act 7.
It's Act 7. Well, my goal is to... I know you're going to stream it right off the bat, so I will be here with you.
Well, I'm actually still somewhat debating.
Are you?
Kind
Okay.
of. There is part of me, there is a little devil in me that says, it's a time to go for a Legends run.
Oh, so you're thinking Legends run.
And that's the ambitious part. That's, come on, kick ass, get Legends title, get extra rewards. And then the pragmatic part of myself going, come on, get in there straight away, explore it as quickly as you can. You're gonna save money because you're not gonna be boosting all the time. You're gonna be better off because you're gonna be able to create content. You're gonna be able to create guides and guide people through it. Plus, if you're gonna do it in the first couple of days, stream should be quite popular, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things that saying, go in there as soon as it comes out and just blitz through it. So I have it done, the rewards are in my pocket, and I can do guides, I can help other people and guide them through this content. And then there is the egocentrical, selfish side of me. Nah man, screw that, go for Legends, like, get the extra rewards. So
Legends is it's different, right? They said this time it's going to be just based on when you're actually fighting.
Yeah, so effectively it's kind of the same, but it's better because first of all, you can try and do Legends run with Android devices. So it doesn't have to be like the latest iPhone or nothing. And in addition to that, you can take pauses and plan and adjust your teams better, which will result in lower item use overall, because you can schedule it out step by step. You don't have to have like this massive spreadsheet to know exactly what you're going to do at which point. You can take a pause, redo your team every time you're going to have a perfect team for each lane so you don't die and stuff like that. And you should be able to do Legends runs cheaper as well.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Very true. Because, I mean, you're just going to be able to do it a different way than before. It was just use a bunch of energy refills, hurry up. This time you can actually not use as many energy refills. You just
energy refill cost is still going to be there. It's just the difference that
it's not going to be, It's not
what you
be
can say
much.
One refill, maybe two, because you can take a pause, because you still have to do it in 24 hours.
Correct. But you
can say one or two refills if you really stretch it, but that's really small fraction of the cost. The big saving is that you can actually counter and plan and bring in the best champions, because previously it was kind of like Ghost or Corvus for everything, and if you die, you revive and get back in there to move on as quickly as possible. Now it is you pick whichever one's best for each lane.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be some interesting there with the Legends. So that all being said, when it comes back to what are my plans is I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to probably look and see, like within a day or two, see what people are saying for counters, what's the easy lanes, and I'll do an initial completion and work on exploration after that. But it definitely looks like it's going to be worth it to get it done just for the rewards itself, which I know we're going to talk about too. But I think it's going to be more fun, like just reading up on some of the things. And I think it's going to be more fun compared to like Act 5 more than Act 6 is my my thought.
I'm kind of like Act 6, but Act 6 was such a shit show, man. It definitely wasn't like an upbeat, enjoyable experience, no matter how you dice it. For most part, I didn't have that much of an issue with Act 6. It's not like I had to like spend... I always had like roster to get it done, and I was relatively skillful enough to get through it as well, and I always did it early on, rushing, so I didn't have as much of an issue with Act 6 as most people did, but at the same time, I wasn't enjoying it.
Well, most of the time when you go back to show something, you're going to go, you can go to Act 5 and go to a specific path.
It was just kind of like uber specific, where it seemed like every lane you have like maybe a couple of champion options, or at least half of the lanes. Half of the lanes are relatively easy. They are the ones that every new champion gets showcased in. Like, oh look, he can do this lane, but so can Iron Patriot.
Yeah, exactly. That's true too. Yeah. So I don't know, but rewards though for this is looking pretty It's a nice step up from Act 6-4 for sure.
Yeah,
Act
it's
6
it's
and
not
gold.
quite out as unreal as we kind of like.
Yeah,
put
as
it
we
forward.
wanted.
But it actually features a lot of the same principles. For instance, the fact that there is no 5-star items pretty much at all, like which is one of the things that I called for and I hoped for.
Yeah, you were definitely big about that. I'm glad that they so quote unquote listened to you.
Well, they had it planned well before that, but
I'm sure. I'm just joking, but
I'm happy that they did the
but yeah.
reasonable thing. They are pushing 6-star champions, and the rewards also are tiered for 6.
Yeah, so for like completion, we've got the tier 5 class catalyst crystal of 25%.
Solid amount.
That's really good, yeah. RNG, but still not bad. And then 6-star rank up gem 1 to 2 crystal, which is nice. I wanted that.
I really like those, and I'll tell you exactly why I really like those. Because they save me a ton of tier 4 class catalyst crystals and tier 2 alphas, because all of that has somehow become an issue. Why is tier 2 alpha still a problem? Why are tier 4 class catalysts all of a sudden a problem since 2017? I never worried about them. I had 200 or 100 something of them, like in my...
It's kabam. They started giving us more of the higher stuff and less of the
and they demand the lesser. They demand the tier 4 class catalyst to take a 6-star to rank 3. Why?
I don't know why, but anyway. So then you got the rank up gem. Okay, you got 10 6-star signature stone crystals.
That's kind of
awesome.
shit, though.
Should have been more, but
yeah, it's what you get for Cavalier monthly. But
yeah,
okay.
I know. It should have been like 25, I thought, but at least. But then we get 10,000 6-star champion Krishard crystals and 1,000,000 gold. Okay, not anything crazy. I think the gold could have been more. I think we could have got 15,000 6-star shards. Now, again,
overall, for most part, you gotta give it to them, though. You do want to even get that completion for that 25% tier 5 CC.
That's why you're doing it, yeah.
That
you're
alone
doing
will
it for
be
the
like sufficient motivation for vast majority of people to actually go and get it done.
Yeah. Now, where it gets a little bit juicier is the exploration, because now not only do you get a 25% crystal, but you also you get a second 25% crystal, but then you get a class selector crystal for 25%. So in an ideal world, you could get all the same class. Now it's probably
here is actually one of my beef that I raised before, and I always have had the selectors. You have to pick the class immediately once you earn it. And in this case, for people, for instance, let's say you have 50% of something, of 4 different classes, right? Let's say you have 50% of 4 different classes, and you explore it, right?
Right.
And you have to pick straight away.
Yeah, I wish they
And
let
then
you...
you have to take a guess. And then you have to pray to God you get 1 of the 6 chance to kind of like get lucky from the crystal.
Yeah, I wish they gave you like a crystal that you could open it and then you select
or just an in-mail item or something like that. There are so many very, very, very easy, simple to do, programmable workarounds for this problem. And they are forcing us to make uneducated decisions whilst we're not holding all our cards in our hand. Also, we haven't seen all our cards, because we're going to have to make a decision, and then we're going to have to go through the RNG and just hope we get lucky or whatever.
Now, this is ballsy, but has anyone force quit the game without selecting to see what happens? What happens?
Sometimes you get something random, and sometimes you get nothing at all, and you send a ticket.
Oh, okay, then that wouldn't work. Well, definitely don't want to do that.
But,
well, okay, so
we've got
the selector.
Very kind of like
it's just
simple thing that Kabam seems very spiteful. It's still the same amount of reward. It doesn't change how much they give to us. They just seem to be very stubborn and spiteful in this case, because this was a problem in Act 6 exploration. It wasn't
6-4, yeah. 6-4.
And what, half a year has passed, 8 months have passed, and nobody has given 2 cents of a shit to fix it. And it is an issue.
I know. Yeah, it is. But at least it's 25%. So I mean, another 25%.
Well, yeah, overall 75% of tier 5 CC is definitely kind of solid chunk.
Yeah.
Outside of like Act 6 general exploration. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the highest amount of tier 5 CC we can earn in any single piece of content.
True. And then we've got a 6-star Nexus crystal, which would be okay.
Nice.
we get 26-star signature stones. They're just generic, which is nice.
Which is
and then
good.
this is what I don't get. Another only 10 signature stones.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like a filler item there. Don't get me wrong, 6-star signature stones are so rare and they're so stingy to give them out. And this, I believe, outside of Abyss and now Cavalier monthly difficulty quests, is the only place where you can actually earn it. We can't get any 6-star stones in any of the variants, in like pretty much any of the previous Act 6 content or anything like that. It's just this as the first kind of like big permanent piece of content that has it in.
Yeah, and then only another million gold. I don't understand that either. Why only 1 million gold?
Yeah, again, it just kind of seems like an afterthought. Just like, here, peasant.
Yeah,
fetch
it's
that
like,
coin.
Oh, here, have some gold.
Fetch that coin, peasant.
That should have been 2.5 times that. It should have been 2.5.
In total should be like 4 million, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think they should have given us 1.5 for completion, 2.5 for the exploration. But anyway, and then throughout the quest completion exploration, you'll get 6 tier 5 class ISO, 4 tier 6 class ISO, and then there's the path-based rewards too.
The path-based rewards actually is where this whole rewards kind of like get worth it and where it gets juiced up, because the rewards up there seem fairly bare bone. But then you look at the fact that you earn in total 6 tier 5 basics again, I think, and 9 extra tier 2 alphas, and like another 9,000 6-star shards.
They've started doing this, with the event quest and even the side quests, earlier this year, and they were saying, okay, you can look at your exploration and completion rewards, but throughout the content, as you do it, you're going to get these other things on paths one time. Yeah. And that's kind of nice because you kind of get it as you go versus waiting until you complete everything or whatever. But yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit more worth it. So
my big criticisms here would be though that I don't think gold should have been on those path pickups and units should have been on those path pickups. They simply should have added those to like quest completion rewards and exploration rewards or whatever. And replace that with more tier 2 alpha doors, because again, how stupid it is to award 6 tier 5 basics and 9 tier 2 alphas. Like, you cannot use 6 tier 5 basics with 9 tier 2 alphas. They are specifically choke holding tier 2 alphas, and like they're giving you more tier 5 basics and insufficient amounts of tier 2 alpha.
Because to rank 3 you need, I think, 8 tier 2 alphas. And, what is it? 4? Is it 4 tier 5?
It's 4. I mean, you're that's to rank 3, but to rank 2, for instance, you need to rank 2. You need 3 tier 5 basics, and like 7 or 8 tier 2 as well.
7. I think you need. Here, I'll look real quick, but I think it's 7. But yeah, But that's the thing. It's like it's so little of the tier 2 alpha.
In comparison, it's not that I think that 9 tier 2 alphas is a very, very small amount. I think it's just out of place compared to other resources.
So yeah, it's 7 tier 2 alpha for rank 2, along with 3 tier 5 basic, and then rank 3 is when it goes up to 8 and 4.
So you see, so they give you 6 of those. So technically, with these tier 5 basics, you could take 2 champions up to rank 2. Yeah.
2
6-stars.
Yeah, you could do 2, but you'll be short.
But you're gonna be significantly short. You're gonna be short like
5 tier 2 alpha. 5 tier 2 alpha. Yeah.
And coincidentally, they just sold 4 tier 2 alphas for like.
Oh yeah. What was it? $5 each. $5 each.
$10 each
for half a one.
So $5 for half. Yeah.
Jeez, man, I don't understand why they're chokehold in the tier 2 alpha, and Tier 4 CC also, like we've been saying. So
yeah, it's a definite problem. Whoever's working on economy is really, really doing players dirty. I'm not going to say they're messing it up, because it might as well and probably is intentional to force us into making compromises and purchasing orders, offers, and whatever. But it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good.
All it means is anytime I get glory, I'll just make sure I pump it more into
that's what I'm doing. I'm buying all the tier 2 alpha and none of the tier 5 basics in my glory, which again doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right. It's forcing us to do these kind of things whenever
and I'm still short of tier 2 alpha.
And it's just artificially making it scarce for the sake of being scarce, rather than
it actually being valuable resource, because it's significantly older.
Yeah, I don't know. because this is going to be an issue. I mean, because this is a content that's going to be around for a while, so this is going to be an issue no matter where you are.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're not gonna go through all of the Act 7 nodes and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna do another video in Act 7, which is gonna be kind of like my expectations and hopes for Act 7. And it's gonna be like a video where I will want to go back to after I have actually done it and refer to it to see like what happened, what didn't happen, what was I right and wrong about. I want to read all of these nodes, for instance, try and identify the ones that will be annoying, the ones that will be cool, and kind of like prepare people for them. So I will try to read up on this whole node stuff that we're gonna see, and
then
basically
the one thing I did want to mention, because I know we're getting close to the end here, but the 6-star service part, where I was talking about 6 stars, they're getting a little bit of an extra boost.
Oh, that I'm not a fan, obviously.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna put like, okay, yeah, sorry, finish.
No, I was just gonna say I understand their reasoning for it. They're trying to get us to use more of our 6 stars rather than a max 5-star. Because let's say we have a max 5-star, but we don't have that same champion. Like let's say Dr. Doom, for example. Let's say we have a max Dr. Doom as a 5-star, but we don't have him as an Awakened rank 3 6-star. So, or even as a rank 2. And it's just one of those things where they're trying to get us to say, well, use him and over your 5-star, and you're going to get some other abilities to
ton of block proficiency, more damage reduction, and 700 attack rating increase. But okay, so
go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I'm not a fan at all, because this basically effectively kind of officially buries 5 stars. As far as I'm concerned, that means 5 stars are a thing of the past and way on their way out. They're not going to be dead yet, because you can still bring them in, you can still use them for trouble fights. But realistically, and I have noticed myself, I tend, now that I have a bunch of rank 3 6 stars, for instance, I just typically tend to naturally kind of like shy away from 5 stars, and I know that I'm in a relatively privileged position. However, you already see in Tier 1 Alliance Wars that vast majority of attackers and defenders are rank 3 6 stars. Like we have, like again, vast majority. I think about 80% of our defense is rank 3 6 stars. About 80% of our offense is rank 3 6 stars. And up until now, like every single like piece of content, you could kind of feel good enough bringing in 5 stars. But this again is gonna make 5 stars feel to how I feel. How I think Cavalier level players feel right now as second-class citizens.
They really do.
You don't have the access to all of the cool buffs and perks, which makes champions even better, right? But up until now, you were like perfectly cool and could hang around in the cool kids club, and now 5 stars can't do that anymore. And again, when I say this, I'm not a fan, and I realize that it eventually will happen. You always want to prolong it, but I naturally understand that this is going to happen. That's where the game is going for. And therefore, ultimately, much more than anything else, I am actually happy and grateful that they didn't hard gate the 5 stars. I do think that would cause irreparable damage and significant outrage. But I'm still grateful that I didn't give them the exact same treatment they did to the 4 stars, where they flat out said, get the fuck them out of Act 6. So at least here we can bring in the 5 stars, even though they are put at disadvantage. And they are already at disadvantage compared to 6-star champions, because they cap out at lower damage and health levels. But at least you can still use them. At least you can bring them in for synergies and team setups on specialty fights, which is what we wanted, which is what we begged for in Act 6. So in that sense, I guess I have to say good job.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, if they would have gated off,
that would be like, an absolute crapshoot.
Because they've already learned their mistake. They should never have gated off 4 stars with Act 6. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess this is something so they can say, well, we're trying to make it.
It would have been too early, but still, let's say even if the same trend would happen in the next act.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's not hard gating but soft gating, I'm very, very grateful for that. Like obviously they wouldn't ban 5 stars right now, because vast majority of the people use 5 stars as their daily drivers.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
let's say if
use
this
them
would come
for some
half a
stuff.
year later, when more people would be reliant on 6 stars.
Yeah, and well, at least they're going the right direction with the rewards by not giving us any 5-star, giving us all 6-star rewards. That's at least trying to say, well, if you do this content, you're going to get things to help your 6 stars more, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I understand the rewards are going to get better. This is only chapter 1, but
oh yeah, of course. Like if you take a look at Act 6, and I can actually show that. Like I'll drop out of here, and if you look at 6.1 rewards, they're relatively pathetic by today's standards, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
compared
where
to
did I
today's
jump in
standards, they're
here?
definitely not.
Oh right, John Mulaney
not
challenge.
worth
1
it.
second. I'm gonna pull out the 6.1 rewards, and I think we did that same in the last episode again. But 6.1,
Yeah, but still.
horrible.
Well, we did it. We did it because we were trying to think what would they give us, but which we got a lot of it right. I will say we got a lot of it right. You were right about not having 5-star, which
So
was
like, see, they had
good.
like 1 tier 5 basic, 3 tier 4 class catalyst crystals, some tier 4 basics, 6,000 6-star shards total, like 13,000 5-star shards. So they're just bad rewards, and ultimately every single act gets increased quite significantly. So
how much gold did they have on completion? Was it 500,000? So they did. Okay, see, this is what I don't understand, because I know exploration they did 1 million, but they kept it the same for both, which is so stupid on Act 7.
Yeah.
Because it doubled.
It was 1 million for Act 6 exploration and 1 million for Act 7 exploration. That's a good catch. It definitely doesn't seem right, right? Exploring 6.1 gives you just as much gold as exploring 7.1. That's well out of order.
Yeah, it's not only that, but just the fact that they didn't increase the exploration over completion with Act 7 either. It's really bad. Again, I'm gonna say it should have been 1.5 for completion.
Yeah, it should have been like 4 million total.
Yeah.
But again, overall, I do feel that the gold situation has gotten relatively a bit more stable and better due to the improvements in daily events and incursions and stuff like that. And we're gonna get that gold boost for a while as well, like when in 10th, I think.
Yeah. The 10th isn't gonna give us the gold event.
Okay, and now the last thing that everybody's been asking for, that I have personally largely refused to speculate about.
Yeah, here we go.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? Everybody's speculating what we will get as a freebie from Kabam.
Now, we know it's going to be progression based.
It always is progression based recently. Everything these days is progression based.
Exactly. So we know Thronebreaker's going to get something different than Cavalier, and Cavalier's something different than Uncollected, and blah, blah, blah. So, what do you think a Throne... Well, okay, let's start this way. What do you think a Cavalier player...
Cavalier players, I have a very bad feeling because of how much... And I do understand that we're talking about essentially a free gift. But based on how badly Kabam has pooped on Cavaliers recently, and the fact that they actually made their Cyber Weekend offers worse than the year before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They made them bad.
I expect the same thing. I expect the 5-star generic, probably.
Yeah. Based on what we know they have done recently, unless they try and get some good graces back by, doing something better.
If they do try to get some good graces back, and my personal idea is that we had rank down tickets 2 years ago, had Awakening Gems last year. My personal idea is that we could get rank up gems, and if they want to get some good graces of Cavaliers back, then they're gonna give Cavalier players generic or class rank 4 to 5-star gem thingy.
What if they did?
And they're gonna give Thronebreakers rank 1 to 2 6-star.
Okay, so what if they did both? What if they? Because we've always gotten. We've also the year that we got the rank down tickets, we also got a 5-star Awakening Crystal. What if they gave us or Cavalier? Let's say Cavalier. What if they gave them a 5-star Awakening Gem generic? A generic Awakening Gem, and they gave them a 4 to 5 crystal to rank up to a 5-star. What do you think?
It could be. I don't think they're going to be as generous. I'm always open to being pleasantly surprised by the marvelous Kabam. But I don't think they're gonna give out that much, especially to Cavaliers based on their recent treatment. They have just been dunking so hard on them, man.
Yeah, they have. I feel dirty as a throne breaker because I feel like I'm
it's
doing
kind of like
something
I
wrong.
almost can, like, by looking at how Cavalier players are treated, I kind of imagine that is how illegal immigrants feel in America.
It's gotta be, man. I'll tell you this. It's definitely not nice. It's not a nice feeling.
Especially because that,
like I said, it feels. I feel dirty being a throne breaker because I feel like I'm getting better treatment, but not because of RNG, not because of anything I've done different. You know,
yeah, that's the thing.
Stupid.
That's what makes it kind of feel bad, and that's what makes me feel for Cavalier level players, because they had done everything they had to do to be at the highest progression level in the game. They beat all the same content that I did.
Right.
And then it got, and then we all were like Cavalier players. And then all of a sudden it got taken away. The highest progression title got taken away from a large portion of people just because they didn't have the RNG for most part. Fair enough, there's a large group that are fresh Cavalier players that are at a different level, which I have no quarrel about. But the people that have completed Act 6, and some of them have explored Act 6, and some of them have even completed Abyss, they just didn't get lucky, or didn't want to make a stupid decision to like rank 3 Agent Venom or something. And now they are just being bombarded with this filth.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the gift, but I just hope that they don't screw the Cavalier players with the gift. So, in regards to Thronebreaker, you think we'll get a 1 to 2 rank up gem?
My guess is 1 to 2 rank up gem.
I would love that. Okay, now the last thing, because this will cover pretty much the majority of players. Uncollected, what do you think they'll get?
5-star Nexus?
5-star Nexus would probably be good, or even a 5-star generic Awakening would be nice, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that Kabam has an opportunity to treat their Cavalier players a little bit better on Christmas, or the holiday gift, whatever they want to call it. But we'll have to see. I think we're out of time. I don't think we're
Apathetic. We are pretty much out of time. I do like to keep these about an hour long, and we have just crossed an hour and 2 minute mark. So so your speculation, your guess personally, as Thronebreakers, quick.
My guess, I think it's going to be a 6-star Nexus class crystal.
6-star Nexus class crystal for Thronebreakers. Fair enough, reasonable guess. Could see that happening. Cavalier players.
And then Cavalier players, I think you're going to get a 5-star Nexus class crystal, and that's it.
Oh, that's high. Okay.
I know.
Uncollected.
It's bad, but and then Uncollected is just going to get a 5-star Nexus.
Okay.
That's it. That's greedy Kabam, I'm thinking. There. It's not what I want, but that's greedy Kabam, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. I think that will also pretty much put an end to KT Time episode 4. Right. So, this is a members exclusive podcast. So if you are a member, you can see this podcast throughout next week and forever and ever ongoing. However, if you have not yet joined the channel or Patreon, all the links in the description below, you are seeing this a week late because it will remain unlisted for entirety of duration, and when I'm gonna re-upload it, it's gonna be uploaded as video, and you're gonna have to wait a week. So, in a sense, you can get the same stuff for free, which is always cool, but you're gonna have to be a bit more patient. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But thanks for everybody that is here right now, supporting KT on Patreon and as a member on YouTube. We look forward to bringing you more of these, and anybody that's watching this a week later, just know we still care about you greatly, and that's why you're able to see this. Just want to make sure there are benefits for our loving members that give.
Exactly, and let's say a huge thank you to Mandalorian, who has been a great help to the channel.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate being here, and thanks to KT, because without him, none of us would be here.
And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
Later.